Yo, what's up guys, it's me Jake here, and I know I changed my setup a lot. In my coming videos, I'm trying to do a collection video soon. I will show off my room because I completely redid my room, and now my setup and my recording situation just looks so much better. I really like how this looks, so much more than what it used to look like. I feel like it now has so much more room in the middle of my room. I just have so much more I can do now with my videos, so hope you guys enjoy this new angle and hope you guys like the new look. But this video is something I've been wanting to make for a really long time, but I really just haven't been able to, and that's a series I very much enjoyed, and I actually have right on the shelf next to me, so it makes it way easier to pull out volumes. But I actually want to complete my set before I actually talk to you guys about this series and before I actually gave my thoughts on it because of how much I loved it. Now that's going to be the forgotten masterpiece that was in Weekly Shonen Jump for years to come, and now is in Shonen Jump Rise, I think, or Shonen Jump Square, which is the monthly one, and that's going to be World Trigger. If you don't know my thoughts on World Trigger, this thing is phenomenal. I thought World Trigger was one of my favorite reads I've read recently, and when it comes to it, if I actually make my video of my favorite reads of 2022 later down the line, this will probably be in it. I think it was in it for my last year, for my first 10. I think I read the first 10 last year, but I did read from 11 to 22 recently. I will say it has lived up to what I've been wanting. And I will say the whole arc from 11 to 22 was just phenomenal. I love what they did. It was, yes, a very major arc, but the very major arc had a lot of mini arcs in it, which I just thought were great. But I'm getting sidetracked already. If you don't know anything about World Trigger, basically, we're in this world where these neighbors or kind of monsters invaded Earth, and we're left into the aftermath of that 4 years later, where there's this company called Border which takes down these neighbors. And one day, our main character in Osamu Makuma, I always forget his second name, meets Yumakuga, who is a humanoid neighbor himself, with something called a black trigger, which I won't explain for a while. And basically, they're both trying to get into the neighborhood, which is the world that the neighbors live in, to kind of complete their own goals. And that's kind of the whole gist of World Trigger. And I think that they did a very good job making that the main goal and kind of like setting it aside a lot. And yes, I know you might say that it sounds stupid and they set aside their main goal a lot, but what it means is they're doing other things to help them achieve their main goals and get stronger, so when they go into the neighborhood, they're just not left for dead. And I think that is something I really liked about World Trigger, was just the whole power system, and not only the whole power system, the characters you meet along the way. It's one of those ones that deals with a very big cast, because you meet all these Border members, and you keep meeting all these Border members, and you keep trying to figure out a lot of these characters and why they're strong and why they're weak and what they do for their squads, because Border is in squads of 3 and 4, by the way. The members of Border, they're in squads of 3 and 4 to make it easier, so they don't have to kind of have too many people to order around and order them around at the same time. So they do 3 or 4 to make it way easier for themselves. And seeing all the squads and how they work differently is really interesting. And even the first major arc, which takes place from volumes, I think, 5 to 9 and a little bit into 10, I believe, is when the first major arc really starts. I'm going to say amazing first major arc and amazing arcs after that. I really think they handled it very well. And I do like what they did very much. I think the main characters are very, very enjoyable with Osamu, Yuma, and Chika. I think that whole cast is very enjoyable. Also, have a character that has the potential to be probably my favorite character of all time, which is Jin Yuichi. If you've read World Trigger, you'll just know that the man on cover 4 is a monster. This guy is a complete and utter monster. He is so sick. His side effect, which they have this thing called Trion in this world, which is like this series chakra or ki from like Naruto or Dragon Ball. And if you have a large amount of Trion, you have a chance of having a side effect. Yuma has a side effect, and a lot of characters do have side effects, but Jin's is by far just the most crazy side effect, and it's so sick. And what Jin does in Volume 4 by himself solidified him as like a top 15 character for me, and he's just been building it, like just walking his way up like it's nothing. This guy is just crazy. If you've read World Trigger, you know what I'm talking about, but Jin, he's crazy. I think the whole main cast is also really crazy. I really like all of them. Mostly, I think I like Osamu the most. And I know you might be saying, if you've only read the first little bit, what the hell, this guy's weak, what the hell, your terrible mindset, terrible character, yada yada yada. I think that his way of doing things is very interesting, and I really like seeing Osama grow and also seeing the decisions he makes. He is definitely a very drastic character, making very drastic choices that can lead to a lot of things, and I think that's something I really like about his character, is he's open to test the waters and open to really try his best to get to where he wants to be. I really like seeing that in a character, even though it's not one of those ones of I'm never gonna give up. It's more of I want to find a way around this, or I want to find a way where I can get through this. It's one of those more tactical kind of main characters, and I really do like how he's handled. I think that it's kind of weird in the beginning with him and Kuga, because you don't really truly know who the protagonist really is in the first couple volumes, because it follows them a lot, but like you don't know which one it's following more. You don't know which one you're kind of seeing it through the eyes of, but then it starts being more and more apparent that it's Osama Makumo, sorry, I can never say his name, that is the protagonist. And of course, I think that how they handle that is a little weird in the beginning. I don't know if I liked how they did that in the beginning, but it definitely leads to a lot of character development between Kuga and Osamu, and I really like how they how it happened in the end. I'm trying not to say handle as much because I've already said it like 30 million times in this video, but I don't know if I loved it as much in the beginning, but once I started reading more of it, it made more sense, and I did like it more and more. And I also will say the characters that like join the squads and join everything is just so sick. Seeing these squad wars which happen later down the line, they're some of the craziest things. They're like basically 3 squads go up against each other in like a training match, and it's just like a battle royale. And it's super sick because it's like 1 volume's worth of just pure, just cool fights and sick tactics. And it's just seeing who can outsmart the other. And I think that is just something I really liked. And I think that it was just done very well. It's just handled again. It's me trying to say it's just me trying not to say handle and just say done. But I think that the mangaka did a really good job with that. I think the whole B-rank squad wars arc was just by itself really entertaining. I think that it was probably one of my favorite tournament arcs of all time, purely for one reason, and that it really felt like it was to the wire every single time, and it never really felt like someone just like dominated everything. I think that the B-rank squad wars and how they were kind of set up was really interesting. It was kind of like if you watch soccer, it was like a Premier League or Bundesliga kind of league where there's 20 teams and it depended on points of how many people you either killed in the squad wars, or if you had someone survive, it gained 2 points for that round, and whoever had the most points won. And so, like, in the end of the day, if someone had, like, 40 points in the second place at 38, of course, 40 points wins, and yada, yada, yada. It was a really cool way of doing it, and every single week they had another one, and it was either 3 or 4 squads in each one of them, and all the squads differed from 3 to 4 people, so you never know. But they also had to, like, bring tactics into it, and you saw a little bit of their planning as time went on through the weeks of them going through these squad wars. You saw how they got better at planning things, and it was just a really amazing arc that I felt like really deserves more credit in terms of tournament arcs. It's definitely up there for me. There's a lot of very good tournament arcs, like the Dark Tournament from Yu Yu Hakusho. I'll even put Black Clover's tournament arc up there because it was really interesting seeing the combo magics. And I will also put this up there because this was an amazing tournament arc. It's kind of like skipping my mind tournament arcs. Oh, the My Hero Festival arc. That was a great one as well. I can't really think of many others right off the top of my head, but those 4 just are the first ones that come to mind that were really enjoyable. And I will say World Triggers is probably my favorite out of all of them. Dark Tournament is very close. Dark Tournament is just so good. And there's Yu Yu Hakusho is my first manga I've ever read, so I do have a little bit of nostalgia there. But I will say this tournament arc was great. The first arc, I'm not going to say what it is because the first major arc, if I say what it is, it's a spoiler, but it was crazy, bro. I don't know what to say. I just could not stop reading and reading and reading. And then I got to the end of it, I'm like, I want more. It was that good. It was just so many tactics used and so many different triggers, and it was so sick once you kind of grasped what these triggers do and saw all these tactics come to fruition. It was just one of my favorite arcs. I think World Trigger is definitely something you should read if you have not yet already. art is phenomenal. I think it's definitely better than the anime animation from the first season. I watched a little bit of the first season and I thought it was just not that good animated. Second season and third season I hear are really greatly animated because it's more recent, but I just did not like the animation from season 1. That's why I read it. But definitely would rate World Trigger definitely like a high 9. Not a 10, but a high 9, because I think there's a couple things that I fall short on. Like, having so many people being number 1, like, gunner, number 1 shooter, number 1 attacker, all that felt like a little weird, because there's number 1, then there's number 1 B rank, number 1 A rank, all that. It kind of got confusing at times, which I will say is very annoying. Having a lot of B ranks being, like, up there in attackers anyway is kind of weird, because these guys are not in A rank. They're not even in that next tier. They're in the second best tier, and there's some of the best out there. Like, it's kind of weird seeing that, but I will say it is very entertaining. I think World Trigger has a lot of things going for it, and has the potential to have one of the biggest worlds I've ever seen. It has the potential of having one of the best built worlds of all time, in my opinion. It's just if these chapters can come out fast enough, which I know the manga is in poor health, so I'm not going to rush him. I'm not going to say, come on, make your manga now. You have to now. I need it, so make it. That's why he went from Weekly Shonen Jump to Shonen Jump Squares, because of his health, so I'm not going to push it. But of course, I do wish the chapters came out faster, but not going to be mad if they don't. But yeah, all I have to say about World Trigger, amazing. I hope you guys will read it, because this is just phenomenal. You guys definitely should try it out. I know the Right Stuff Viz sale just ended as I'm recording this on Sunday, but this was definitely something that was pretty out of stock anyway. I would have recommended it during the week if I was not sick. Because if you don't know, my last week I didn't upload anything because I was pretty sick all week, so I couldn't really record. And also, once I became not sick, this had to happen. I did all this myself, so this was not fun. So I didn't do anything really this last week other than be sick and change my room, so I couldn't really like upload or do anything. So I'm sorry about that, but I think that's it for this video. I think I said everything about World Trigger and everything about why this video came out late. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope I see you guys next time. Peace!